previous video, I demonstrated a way to boost the look of appliques on your cosplay with a simple step called satin stitch. I use it all the time. In the example, I was using my journey scarf with its many bits. Recently, I received an email from someone requesting that I make a scarf for their journey cosplay as they really liked how mine looked. But since I don't have time to work on my own cosplays lately, let alone someone else's, I decided to at least make a video of the steps that my friend and I took to make our scarves, including measurements. I hope this will help the emailer, as well as anyone else who's wanting to cosplay Journey. The scarf is made of many little bits. You'll need a shiny fabric. Here I've got a heavy dull satin. And your red fabric that you used for your cloak. Here I'm using a broadcloth for the demonstration. The third thing you'll need is a paper-backed iron-on adhesive. There are other brands, but this is the one that I use most often. Heat and Bond comes in many different forms. One is the Ultra Hold, which is for heavy fabrics and patches. Soft Stretch are for t-shirts and knit fabrics. Vinyl for if you want to make a fabric wipeable with a cloth like a baby bib. And Light, which is good for quilting fabrics and the like. This is the one I'll be using today. First, take your satin fabric and turn the shiny side down. Next, take your paper-backed adhesive and lay it down on the wrong side, sandwiching the glue and the wrong side together. Then take your iron on the polyester setting and iron them together. Make sure that the glue bonded well with your fabric, but don't fuss too much with it. The next step is to draw a grid of 1/2-inch squares across the paper. The design, or glyphs as I like to call it, is made up of several different shapes. 6 1/2-inch by 1/2-inch, 2 1x3, 1 2x2, and 1 3x3. Cut those shapes out using the grid that you've drawn. The paper backing and the glue help stop the fabric from fraying a bit. Carefully cut out all of your shapes. Next is the red base. Repeat the steps as you did previously with the Heat and Bond and fabric, including drawing on a 1/2-inch grid on the paper. The shape is 11 squares by 7 total. Carefully cut it out. Next observation is that the glyph is made up of 4 small square patches, which are made of a 9x9 square grid. Don't worry if they don't line up perfectly. People aren't looking that closely to your alignment. Carefully remove the paper backing from the satin. Do this with all of your small white pieces. Next, keeping in mind the 4 designs with the 9x9 grid, carefully line up your bits onto the red backing. Be as fussy as you want, as it's not permanent yet. Once you're content with the placement, carefully place your iron straight down on the whole piece. Hold it there for a couple of seconds, then remove the iron. I do a couple of passes just to make sure it's nice and flat. The scarf itself is a golden broadcloth, as it was the best for color matching that was available. I've torn the length of it to get the rough edges and then did a straight stitch along the side to stop it from fraying any further. The scarf is 7.5 inches wide and however long you want to make your scarf. Next, find the center of your scarf lengthwise. Then remove the paper backing to the red base shape. Once you're happy with the placement of the glyph piece, iron that baby down. Once done, I would recommend sewing everything down and then satin stitch it to make it look really awesome. Repeat making these for as long as you want your scarf to be. As for the side bits, the measurements aren't as precise as the 1/2 inch on my scarf, though they probably could have been. Here are the measurements. Since we were going to be wandering around a convention hall, we didn't want our scarves to be stepped on by other con attendees, so we made the scarves an acceptable 122 centimeters, or about 48 inches long. But since we had possible photo shoots in mind for the future, we had extra fabric hidden so that we could extend our scarves longer if we wanted. I still haven't put on the side designs just yet. I hope this video helps clear up some of the seemingly complicated steps into slightly more manageable ideas. Have fun growing your journey, scarves!